Hi, everybody. I'm absolutely stunned that I'm even doing a program. Welcome to Moohead Radio. I'm your host. I'm not big, I'm not furry, and this has been the most frazzled day that I have had in a long time. And let me start it out with waking up. Waking up is hard, so hard to do. All right, first thing is I'm supposed to have my dental implant screw put in on Wednesday. They call up at 8 o'clock in the morning and basically wake me up, and because I was sleeping in, and they said it's canceled. That's how my day began. But the second I walked out of my room and ran to answer the phone, I smelled shit all over the house because Topaz has shit his crate. And I don't mean just shit his crate in a small way. I mean, explosive diarrhea. Yesterday, we found out that he can't chew his foods. While he's not eating, he has a tooth problem, and he's scheduled tomorrow to go in to be sedated and have his tooth or teeth looked at to find out what the hell's wrong with him. So I moistened his food with a little bit of chicken broth. Wrong. This dog's got such a sensitive stomach. Yeah, he shits all over his crate. So up at 8, trying to get this goddamn crate out of the house and hosed down, putting the dog out of the lanai. Poor Roxanne is sitting there going, get me out of the fucking house. It smells like shit in here. And that's where the day begins. The dog still has diarrhea, and it's probably going to create a problem for tomorrow's procedure, which is really too bad because he's forced to eat soft food, and now I can't use broth to soften the food. I'm going to have to use bland hot water and hope that that works. At any rate, it gets only better from there. Then it's supermarket fucking sweep, you know, where you go to Walmart and find out everything they don't have. I mean, you know, you name it, they don't have it. That should be their slogan. Always the fewest products, always. I mean, what in the fuck, you know? And people, and then it's the reaction of people. I'll give you 2 examples, all right? Yesterday, I was walking Topaz, and a guy's riding his bike with 2 kids. There's 2 kids, you know? And, you know, I want to be nice, and I didn't say to him, God, the one on the left really looks retarded. I didn't do anything like that, you know? I was really nice. And I said, boy, it's it's really kind of, you know, a good time to have extra family time. And the guy has this, I don't know what I would call it, like a Prozac smile. Kind of like that weird smile that David Lee Roth had when he was singing bluegrass. And he says to me, quarantine's a great thing. It's Hammer Time joining us. Yeah. A great thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would have said electricity. I would have said the invention of the telephone. But quarantine is a great thing. Then I'm in the Walmart today, and there's a guy there, and he says, people are acting like this is the end of the world. And I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, it has been for many thousands of people. I mean, you know, there's no in between anymore. You can't be vigilant and cautious. Either it's a hoax, this whole thing is built up, you know, it's all a hoax. Or it's like, yeah, you know, build the ark, build the ark.
Not to interrupt your monologue too much here, but You seem to be missing some octaves today.
Why? That you're the second person who said that. I'm too low. Is that right?
Yeah, you're
Sounds
too
very-
low as in baritone.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know why that would be happening at all, unless there's something wrong with my microphone or my sound.
But now you're at the perfect range for sweet low, sweet
Carry
chariot.
on, coming for to carry me home.
Sounds like one
Either
of those
that or
guys from, Witness
deep
Protection
river.
Program. One of those
Yeah.
Witness
Right.
Right?
Protection-
Did this change it at all, or am I still really bassy?
little basic, but
We're gonna have to start calling you Count. You're so bassy.
All right. Well, I got you. I, no problem.
You're like an octave away from Old Man River here.
I get weary and sick of trying. I'm scared of living, tired, and scared of dying. All right, Crembly Q, here we go. You got 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. No, okay, I don't even want to.
yeah.
I think I owe myself.
Right, a red bag.
All right. Thank you.
16 tons when you get filthy.
I'm just trying to figure out, you know.
You
the
need some
stupidity
helium to
that's-
balance this out, I guess.
Okay.
People in the
Try
chat
the
room,
helium voice.
tell me what my voice is sounding like live on the air, please, in the chat room. I want to know because I, just want to know. Oh my God. I'm trying to get, and then right before airtime, the dog shit on the tile in the house again.
Welcome to Dealing with Excrement on a Monday.
I don't know why my voice would be so deep. I don't know. Might be just the size of my testicles today. I don't know.
No, there was a what the hell was the name of that stuff? There was a professor that was on Jay Leno show that helium makes you go higher. This gas makes it go super deep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I haven't done any.
I think you've been inhaling a little too much of that gas.
No, I don't even have gas today, which is unusual for a cow. Roger Miller. Well, sure. Trailers for sale or rent. I might as well get everything out of the way now while I can. Okay, here we go. Moody Blues. Breathe deep, the gathering gloom. Okay.
How about Muddy
Somewhat.
Waters? You're almost
I
that
don't know
low.
any Muddy Waters songs.
Oh.
Da, 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 da.
Sulfur hexafluoride is what you're talking
My
about.
voice is too fucking deep now.
Da, da.
All right.
No, you sound like a Conway Twitty
How
from your
Conway
fellow
Twitty.
Floridian,
I,
Amsterdam.
I'll tell you something that really is bizarre are the questions that I'm seeing on Twitter too. I mean, stuff that is like, it says, what do you miss most about the Lakers games not being on? And there's like, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? And people are saying like, oh, I really had something to look forward to and now I don't. It's like, oh, a happy wife, happy life. I mean, what the fuck is your problem? Unbelievable.
Yeah, not only is the birth rate going to go up in 9 months, I think the divorce rate will also be up in 9 months.
Hey, Bronk, I thought that was sung by John Lee Hooker.
Danish boy? Nope. That's Muddy Waters.
Yeah, and then things like this. Can the idiots on TV stop saying all you're being asked to do is to stay home? Because he's saying, well, losing the business your family built over 3 generations, the job that keeps a roof over your head, the income that feeds your family is not a small sacrifice. But going out and killing somebody, that's not a sacrifice to you when you're a fucking millennial and you're not gonna die from it. Okay. I'm so tired of the people.
And Moo is
who are-
referencing those kids who went to Miami.
Well, I mean, in California, the beaches were full. I mean, they're going to have to bring the National Guard out there, and I'm being serious. I'm not Mr. Military, but geez, a weezo.
Yeah, it's just California. Who the hell cares?
Oh yeah, those
Did you
Miami.
see the?
They're gonna fall into the goddamn ocean anyway.
There's a viral video of a city councilman in Florida ripping the mayor of whatever beachfront town it was, and she's like, "Well, we're just going to adjourn this meeting." He's like, "You haven't done anything. You didn't close the beaches. This is all going to be on you." I mean, he's just ripping her, and they're like, "You're out of order. Point of order. Point of order." It's like, no, it's like,
It's
shut
Steve
up.
Brody all over again. We're watching Jaws 2 play out in live action.
I'll tell you, the other thing that made my day today, I finally sat down
Seaweed?
just to eat something, and it's like, all right, I'm going to turn on, I turned on CNN. And it wasn't the CNN host or anything like that. They were playing Mitch McConnell versus Chuck Schumer, right? And if I had, so help me God, been present for Mitch McConnell's speech, I'd have fucking shot and killed him. I
I
mean,
feel that way about fucking Schumer every time. And the Hunchback of New York opens his fucking hole too.
yeah, well, I'll tell you, at least, and I'm not going to give Schumer any credit in any of this anyway, but he said, look, I got to get back to my meetings because I'm meeting with people here and we're trying to get a resolution. And Mitch McConnell's out there just, the Democrats are doing this, the Democrats are... It's like, die, you old fucker, die. He looks like an undereducated turtle, for Christ's sake. Make it stop, dear God. I mean, you can't escape it. I mean, it's like we're not working together. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see it. Let's see it.
It's Myrtle the turtle.
It's Myrtle the turtle is right.
Am I not turtle enough for the Turtle Club? Turtle.
So so I'm looking around at sports news, and then it comes up, the 2020 Olympics are going to be canceled. And it's like, who gives a fuck? The Olympics are professional athletes. They've already been canceled.
Did you see the IOC member who
What?
his name is
He leaked
Dick
it,
Pound.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dick
his
Pound.
real name
Dick
is
Pound.
Dick Pound. Yeah.
It's Dick Pound.
It's like, so what's your porno name? No, that's my real name.
No. And the worst thing is Dick Pound is gay and his wife's name's My Cunt. My Cunt. I don't know.
Some people will have to watch Porky's to understand that one.
Yeah, the Olympic Games, is that what we're concerned about? I mean, wouldn't that be terrible if the Olympic Games were... I don't even give a shit about the Olympic Games because it's all professional athletes anyway. And and then other things that are absolutely ridiculous. Headline, how the NBA could resume amid a coronavirus shutdown. I mean, are you kidding me? Why do we want that predictable league to start up again?
Can they just do like the conference finals with the Lakers, Clippers, and Boston and whoever?
And just kind of be done with it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You just sit in a room with their PlayStations and play a couple games that way.
Oh
and-
God! Yeah, and FS1. Did you guys watch? I see on FS1 that they had that with NASCAR. Oh my God! What a
Oh, today they had the 1986 Miller 400 on. That was
Well,
awesome.
that's what we were laughing about. The same thing. They were showing WrestleMania 30. on
Yeah.
ESPN. On
Yeah, that was
ESPN.
Saturday night. Yeah. Well, all day Sunday on ESPN2 was the Ocho again. They had Stupid Robot Fighting League. They had marble races. They had cherry pit spitting. They had slippery steps collegiate competition. Like there's a separate group for the college athletes and the non-collegiate. There's like a pro league, I guess. I don't know. So I mean, it was like one goofy ass thing after another.
And you want to talk about desperately trying to make news? It's like, and Brian Hoyer's going back to New England. It's like,
They
I
had
just-
college players or former college players reacting to their games. Like Jalen Brunson or whatever his name is from Villanova was watching the game and he was like clowning one of the North Carolina players on Twitter as a joke. And NBA had them reacting to a college game to keep them in the news wave, whatever. They're so desperate for attention, it's a joke. Like they're not, they're watching that game for fun. You know, they're watching a game they played in for fun. You really think so?
Yeah. I mean, there is no sports, folks. And, you know, this is going to be like a twice-a-week journal of what it's like going through this in Florida. And I'm sure it's not so different than, than where all of you are. But it's... don't turn on the news. Don't do it. It will fuck your head up really, really bad. I mean, you're better off watching WrestleMania 30, and maybe that's what they're telling us. I don't know. It's like
Which is real, which is fake, huh?
The fucking Undertaker. It's like I'm already surrounded by death. You know.
For some of us, it's actually business as usual. Being a postal person, and my wife's a nurse. Other than afterwards, we're going to work. Now my referee career is in a stall, but but because I actually 2 weeks ago I actually did a tournament in Boston, and that was the weekend where they shut down the Arnold Sports Festival, basically in Columbus, which is it rivals Ohio State, Michigan for the most number of people in town. It's definitely the biggest event, and all the hotels, the restaurants, the Ubers, everything that's related, everything shut down to the extent. Like my son is actually an assistant manager at a hotel close to campus, and he was actually laid off last night because they have 6% occupancy. There's like no one's coming, so they don't need him. So it's crazy. It's but when they shut that down, and I'm on my way on a flight, and we're all talking about it. And every table had hand sanitizer on it. And one of the coaches came over and wanted to wipe down the little flip score that they have on the tables. And she starts wiping it down, and like all this crud is coming off of it. We're like thinking, maybe we should have done this a long time ago. All this stuff there. So I'm in a room with 92 courts and thousands of little kids. And they're all hacking and coughing and whatever. And I'm thinking, it's been over 2 weeks, so I'm still alive. So I think I'm okay. But man, it was pretty crazy. I mean, so
And then the Patriots have cut their kicker Gostkowski after 14 seasons. I've come to the conclusion that they figure without Brady, they're not going to even be close enough to attempt any field goals.
They're going to go
Yeah, but they did the same thing to Vinatieri, so this is nothing new.
They had Brian Hoyer. They could get a few touchdowns this year.
Does it really sound this bad? How about if I talk here? What is this?
Hey, Pluto.
Well, I can tell you that it's the audio that is going through the cloud that's doing this because, I was just singing karaoke earlier and it's not my microphone. I want to apologize. This is another glitch from StreamYard, and every so often people do have some audio issues with this. So sorry about that. General Mills, get this. They're having trouble because 30% of their business is basically cereal, and the cereal business is chaotic. And it's not because you can't get cereal, all right? But for people like me who are over 55 years of age, people like cereal for fiber, However, it's the millennials. They don't eat cereal. They want things that talk about having like ethical labels, like
Super Sugar Crisp is not a good one. Is that
right? No. I mean, ethical labels would be like we
Red Bull?
gave a hand job to the oats before we bagged it, or we gave it extra oxygen so it could breathe better in the bag, kind of thing.
That's what hand rolled oats are about.
There you go.
I've
There you
always
go.
been trying to figure that out.
And they have no millennial group and only old people. Everyone in between's not eating cereal. So what can they do? All right? What can they do about this? And this will tell you everything you need to know about business in America. By the way, the Census Bureau is saying that in 2035, older adults are going to outnumber kids for the first time ever in the United States. So we're continue to get older, and the per capita cereal consumption is going down. What they want to do is reintroduce some of the older sugared cereals. I mean, can you believe this? It's like, well, let's really get the young kids and fuck their teeth up completely. Someone's always trying to get me Lucky Charms.
See,
This is
they get with the American Dental Association, then they could actually have like a cross marketing campaign to have more stuff for the ADA dentists to take care of. See, I see some cross marketing here.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend,
No, get this. How about Honey Nut Cheerios adding a Hearts Matter page on their website saying that Honey Nut Cheerios makes heart health enjoyable? I know a lot of people who are just doubling down on Honey Nut Cheerios who have severe atherosclerosis. That to me is like...
Well, it's one of the few cereals I can still enjoy. So, and that's mainly because of my acid reflux.
well, I mean, and I eat regular Cheerios, but it ain't for my heart. It's strictly for the fiber. That's the whole thing, because my diet is like, I can't, But it says 2 other brands that are doing well with children are Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms. Can you believe this? Older adults prefer Wheaties, Fiber One, and Colon Blow.
It'll take
And
674 bowls of your cereal to equal 1 bowl of Colon Glow.
And get this, rapper Travis Scott is partnered with Reese's Puffs. That's right, your Reese's peanut butter cups in puff form.
How
You
many
sure,
times
Marcia?
can you use that recipe?
Now you gotta sing "Puff the Magic Dragon."
But how many times can you use
It's
this
mandatory.
recipe?
No. I want to hear it.
Magic Dragon. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but how many
Now,
times can
Lou,
you reuse
can you
the same
go?
recipe? You have Reese's Pieces, the mini Reese cups, the holiday Reese cups, the original Reese cups, the eggs. Like, how many times can you have the same exact fake peanut butter chocolate mix and have people buy it?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go
That's like the
demon
Dikembe
it for
Mutombo,
the-
though. That's like Dikembe.
Yeah. Just don't buy the boxes that say Reese's Feces. You're in big trouble. Try that.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh. Had the
They're-
rat get in the bag.
Yeah, they're
Gee.
crunchy for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Some
Then
people
we
prefer
have this.
marinated options.
A what?
It could be marinated options. A rat may have broke into this in the warehouse. We're not sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Or you just
it's-
wash it down with a Red Bull or a Monster. That stuff will kill anything in that cereal anyway.
And now
That reminds
there's the-
Hey, that reminds me of an old Night Court episode where Bull is eating old candy bars and stuff from a survival bomb shelter. And
Boy, I started
he's
getting
eating.
a real echo off you just now, Brian. That was
Yeah, I'm
weird.
not sure what's going on. I heard it too,
Well,
but now I
Brooke,
don't.
that's the
hear
voice
it.
of God.
Am I still demonic? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, he's eating this candy at the Snickers bar, and he goes, "Hey, these nuts are really crunchy." And
Oh wow.
the judge turns to him and says, "Bull, Snickers don't have any nuts. They were little cockroaches that had wormed their way into the inside of the candy bar."
oh, well, thank you so much for that. God.
Well, back
So we
to developing ways.
Start off the
Yeah.
show with dog diarrhea. Now we've moved on to
Yeah.
cockroach candy bars.
And
right.
now
Where
we
is this
have,
going,
we
Moo?
have the pushback now.
Well, I mean,
We cannot let the cure of this virus be worse than the problem itself. That from our fearless leader, Donald Trump. At the end of the 15-day period, we'll make a decision as to which way we want to go. Well, you know, I don't know about what it's like, and I know, Rick, you were telling me that Ohio is kind of starting to go through the roof right now with
Yeah.
cases.
On March 13th, we had 13. We now have 442, 6 deaths. 3 of them happened today. We've got 1 case in the county that I live in Huron, and of course the majority of the cases are in the Cuyahoga County, which is the Cleveland area.
You know, a friend of mine in New York City, I was just reading some stuff on Facebook, and she has a history of a lot of respiratory problems, so much so she was on life support for 17 days. And in her apartment building in New York City, somebody is COVID positive. Yeah. I mean, she's like freaking out, man. Like totally freaking out. I mean, it's just a really, really scary time. And I know that Bronk was kind of lurking here, and there's been a total shutdown in England. I mean, saying you're just not allowed to go out. And they've actually defined what not allowed to go out really means. It means they're only allowed in all of the UK to leave their home for limited purposes. Shopping for basic necessities, doing 1 form of exercise a day, providing medical services, or going to work if it's absolutely vital. So you get
This
to do
was in
one.
newly added to the list, the grooming game. So Muslims can go out and kidnap any white girl that they want, and that's perfectly okay.
You know, I don't understand something, and it's this 1 form of exercise per day. Now, I thought it was a 6-foot social distancing. And now, I mean,
Well, I guess that rules out the standing broad jump, doesn't it?
I mean, what in the world is wrong with going for a walk 3 times a day? I mean, you're not touching anything. I don't know. At least where I am, you walk down the street, and somebody's walking on the other side of the street, and if you hear them cough, you run away as fast as you can. But
Yeah, that works. That works.
I don't get it. I mean, why 1 form of... Does anybody on the panel have an idea why the Brits are defining this that way?
I mean, do you really need to go somewhere to exercise? That's my confusion. Can't you look up anything on YouTube or a 10-minute
Well,
workout and subscribe?
Yeah, but
to
not
like a
everybody
6
has. Not everybody is going to have free weights and things like that in their home.
Good point. Yeah.
They charge for
No.
those. You can't just get free weights. I mean, you actually go to a store and buy them.
Well, we're certainly dealing with a dumbbell.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
get the
I mean,
cheap weights.
You know
Yeah.
how stupid I am? I went to get the free weights and thinking, and you know, then they caught me because I couldn't lift them out of the store. You know, there's just frustration. Here's a question. The golf club, not my golf club that I swing, but the golf club here, has gone to a one cart, play, which means you can only have yourself and your spouse in the cart. Now, for me personally, I would prefer me in
So
the
that's
cart
you and the dog.
and my spouse under the cart. Okay, that's another story for another time. But no, they've actually trimmed it down so that you can only have, two people in the cart, and only two people if they live together, they cohabitate, and if they'll give it to each other and they'll both die.
Have they posted
So-
wipeout lanes for your tricycle thing?
No, I mean, in Britain, I couldn't even go out in the trike. It's unbelievable. But the golf is now so half the number of people who could golf before, because before, you put two in every cart. Now, they're trying to get the, so do the McNuggets, Stephen. Better you should walk, okay? Then, all right. So now,
Put the
you can't get on
barbecue
the golf
sauce
course.
down, Stephen.
You cannot golf because there's one cart per play, and every 15 minutes they're going off instead of every 10 minutes, and it's restricting the number of people who can play the course. So that's one less thing to do. You want to get out in the fresh air a little bit, you want to, yes, you can exercise inside. I mean, I have an exercise mat and I do certain core exercises, but it's nice to go for a walk. And when Topaz isn't shitting all over the house, he thinks it's really nice to go for a walk too. So I don't understand what that's all about. I don't get it, but whatever it is. All right, and I will talk a little bit. I mean, I guess we're rating the top free agents who are left. You got Jadeveon Clowney, you got Jameis Winston, who nobody wants, Robbie Anderson for the New York Jets. He just wants to get the fuck out of New York so he doesn't die there. And guess who number 4 is? Rashad Perryman. Can you believe that?
Great wide receiver class, I guess. this
Yeah,
offseason.
Get
There's
this.
There's a tweet about saying that the Browns still need a wide receiver. Hashtag Hollywood, hashtag Hollywood or something like that as well.
Nobody wants him.
Yeah, nobody wants anybody. It's like so.
Yeah, I mean, and Rashad Perryman, they're saying he had a career year with the Buccaneers. You know what his career year was? 36 catches.
Wow.
Smoking.
Wouldn't you? I would really rather take a chance in the
2.15
draft.
a game? 2.15 catches a game, about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
That's
much.
good.
No.
That's good.
Now, granted, he had 645 receiving yards. So, I mean, it was good per catch, but then they're in that, 4 deep kind of air raid thing down there. And that's about to change because Rashad Perryman, streaking down the field, Tom Brady can't get the ball there anymore, right? The number 5 is Marcus Golden from the New York Giants. Guy's 29 years old and desperately wants to get away from the Giants. He had 10 sacks, That's what he has going for him. There are guys I don't even know. Jermaine Ifedi, an offensive tackle from the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks declined their option, the 5th-year option on the guy. He was a first-round pick in 2016, and the fucking Seahawks gave up on him, for God's sakes. How about Von Bell, the safety from the New Orleans Saints?
Oh, okay.
Didn't
the
he
one that
sign
was attacked.
already?
No, not that I know of.
Isn't he the reason that Miracle in Minneapolis happened? Or is that the other dude?
I don't know. I don't even know who the hell Von Bell is.
Former Buckeye, I thought.
Oh, get this. Jason
Oh.
Peters, he's still available. Yeah.
Has anybody heard anything about the Browns still trying to deal for Williams from the Redskins?
That's just gone really quiet. I mean, look, you can't even get into a discussion with Daniel Snyder and his people. Are you kidding? I mean, those folks are not even serious. And you look at what they're doing, and of course, you know, what we said the last show, Ron Rivera wanted nothing to do with Cam Newton, and so instead they get Allen as a backup quarterback, and they say they're going to stick it out with Haskins. The organization's not serious.
You have to give Haskins another chance. He played.
You have to give him a chance, but I wouldn't, you know, I would do it the right way. I would have brought in a veteran, decent veteran quarterback to start out the season, let Haskins prove his weight, and then let him go out and finish out the season. But
Right, that was the good in theory, but in practice they had two guys that broke their goddamn legs, almost in the
Yeah.
same spot.
yeah, but you know, but Haskins.
So that's why he had to play.
And he's not ready. Plain and simple, he's a turnover waiting to happen, and he's not really very elusive either. And get this, Ndamukong Suh, so sue me. Yeah, at one time he actually could play. You know, he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now he's trying to wait for a job. Everson Griffin of the Vikings, he's 32 years old. You know,
Yeah, he's past his prime.
and now
You might as well get Alfredo Griffin from the fucking Dodgers.
you know, or Merv Griffin, as
Yeah.
far as that goes. We could
Or
insert
Merv
his
Griffin.
body.
Yeah,
the
we'll just have the
preacher.
casket moving around the field by remote
Fettuccine
control.
Alfredo? No.
Wouldn't that be great? Merv Griffin. We'll be right back. Just make it stop, dear God. Griffin took all of 2018 away to focus on his mental health. And that's something that really makes you feel very confident about extending a long-term contract to him. Jimmy Smith, is he still playing? He was with the Ravens. But the guy's been hurt so much, the Ravens are like done with him. You know, Eric Reed, you know, he was a guy who, you know, got lost in the shuffle in Carolina. He's 28 years old. He's really gone nowhere. Demarius Randall, we know all about him. You know, the Browns aren't asking him back. That's for damn sure. I mean, Logan Ryan, a cornerback from the Tennessee Titans, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you know, he had his best year last year. He's 29 years old. It was an outlier. 4 picks, you know, knocking down 18 passes. He had 4 fumble recoveries. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 forced fumbles, and 113 tackles.
I wish
It's never
Tony
gonna
was
get any better
on so
than
I
that.
could ask him if the Buckers had already traded away Harris, the guy that they franchise tagged.
Yeah, no, that hasn't happened yet either. I mean, then we have Darrell Williams, by the way, the offensive tackle / guard for the Panthers as well. But these are the 15 best. And it's scary. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney has turned out to be much better against the run than against the pass. But at the price, you know,
You don't pay a run
the
stopper
Seahawks
$15 million.
The Seahawks got him cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody's got to pay, and they're as an edge. Edges can't afford in this league to be just good against the run and just kind of mediocre on the pass rush. You can't, you know. Clowney came out of South Carolina is supposed to be the whole package. He was supposed to be like, you know. I'm not even going to say what he's.
Well, he kind of got beat down in Houston.
Well, I think
It's tough
that,
though. You have
the
JJ
years that-
Watt
the-
to help
the-
you out, and you should be productive. You have JJ Watt taking double coverage the whole game.
Yeah, but if J.J. Watt is getting season-ending injuries,
Yeah, he did have the injuries by that point.
So then he's getting double and triple. Then he's getting double and triple teamed and chipped and everything else. So, and then you end up with stats like Olivier Vernon in 2019.
Yeah, and I mean, at age 27, it's not suggesting that Jadeveon Clowney is in trouble, but I mean, it's dollars and cents. It's productivity for dollars spent, and when he
But
is
if-
healthy, he is a good player. But nobody's going to pay that money right now.
But if you could get him for 10 or 12 million, that would actually be an improvement over Olivier Vernon, because I think Clowney played more snaps in 2019 than Vernon did.
Yeah, and you know the thing is that the Browns want, you know, pass rush, and I don't know. I mean, but I don't think Clowney's people are gonna, you know, I think they're gonna.
Well,
wait,
yeah,
wait,
but
wait,
remember
wait
they
until
played
there's
twice.
nothing left.
But with 2 games against the Ravens, who are going to run the ball fucking 98 times a game, having a run stopper is not such a bad thing.
And you know, it's hard for me to believe that Jameis Winston, and I'm not suggesting that Jameis Winston is a really good quarterback. I'm not going to say that, but look, like we talked about last show, it's not like quarterbacks have flourished in Tampa Bay. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and that, of course, is totally unacceptable. But when you look at things that I'm reading, it's like the Washington Redskins getting Kyle Allen. You know, that's what I was talking about a little earlier in the show. For a 5th-round pick. They didn't go after Cam Newton. They went after Kyle Allen so they can have that incredible Haskins-Allen combination. Now, you can't tell me that, you know, I'm sorry, I would rather have Jameis Winston coming off my bench, you know? And I know you're going to say, well, he's not going to accept those terms and all of that, but yeah, maybe maybe he needs a prove-it situation. Go to a team that has an older quarterback, you know, and who's going to get hurt for sure, and then you'll get to play 8 or more games and kind of prove yourself. I mean, look at quarterbacks, guys like Nick Foles, or you know, who are some of the other quarterbacks who have had, you know, I always talk about Scott Mitchell, but the partial season successes, and they get, you know, like Garoppolo, and people who have these short, narrow, successful periods where they step in when a guy
Chris
gets hurt.
Gronkowski, when he
Who?
was with Tampax Bay, he started like 5 or 6 games, and then that ended up being parlayed into the Browns signing him.
Yeah, I mean, it is, to me, you're always just half a season away from big money at the quarterback position. And it, you know, you look at...
Oh, Matt
Cousins'
Castle.
career-
Mr. 400 yards a game.
Matt was it Flynn or whatever from the Packers that had the couple of
Yes.
good
The 1 year, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
and everybody wanted to sign
Ryan
him.
Fitzpatrick's still in the league, folks, because he can occasionally put up a 350-yard passing game.
We had
You
one.
know,
We had Derek
Or
Anderson.
run for 3 touchdowns like he did against the goddamn Browns.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Does everyone sound robotic? Yes, I sound robo. Thank you. It's like, thank you so much, Clocky.
Actually, you sound like the original voice for Smaug from the old Rankin and Bass Hobbit. That guy was a 50-year smoker, though.
Yeah,
He ended up dying of lung cancer. Kind of
It-
sad.
but
but-
it's hard for me to believe that Cam Newton and Jameis Winston can't find work. I mean, and I know that they want to be starting quarterbacks. I get that. But history tells us, I mean, even like with the Browns, I mean, I want to forget people's names because it bothers me.
Oh,
mean-
Kelly Holcomb from Cleveland history.
Who was our starting quarterback 2 years ago?
Kaiser.
Oh,
Yeah.
Deshaun Kaiser.
Sean. Yep.
No, I mean the beginning of 2 years ago. Who did?
Oh, in 2018?
Yeah,
2018 was Tyrod Taylor,
Yep.
who is now the number one quarterback in LA for the Chargers.
Yeah.
As
Really
it
draft
sits.
somebody, but
I mean,
Keeping the seat warm.
our history is filled with quarterbacks who broke their legs with the Redskins and get a chance to refurbish their careers. There's always an opportunity, and if they strike it rich, they can get a hell of a contract, especially if they're not that old. Quarterbacks know if they suffer horrible injuries, if their knee gets raked because they were overused, in a situation. And, and they heal and they have 6 or 8 good games, like teams will sign them for a year, and then the next year it's like there'll be bidders for them. But then you get guys like Cam Newton, and I get Cam Newton because his arm, his shoulder is just shredded. He didn't look anything like the guy I remember. He could. There was no zip on the ball whatsoever, and bad.
Well, Delhomme actually went to a Super Bowl, though. Bronc.
yeah, we had
they-
him about 10 years too late, but more probably like 11 at that point.
Boy, there's a guy who's from Northeast Ohio. Make it stop, dear God. Gary D. and Liz Richards. Oh my God. Gary D. I remember the first time I was exposed to Gary D. He was on WERE. Actually, how long ago it was? 13
Literally, he
a.m.
came in with a trench coat. I was totally shocked.
WERE was a station that you had to strain to get where I grew up in Canton. And that before he stepped up and got into a regular radio station, Gary D, that's where he started. And if you don't remember Gary D, he was, now I'm going to ask Rox this. Do you remember Gary D?
No.
No. All right. We're going to put her on full screen here because this will be of interest to her historically. Gary D became popular in Cleveland, Ohio, and got a job where, Rick?
I have no idea.
Wasn't he on WHK for a while?
He was on HK, and he got himself a job in Washington, D.C. Do you remember?
I remember he ended up in New York for a while.
Gary D went into Washington, D.C. Who was the mayor?
Was that
The African American mayor.
the coke guy or the heroin guy, right?
Oh, Barry.
Barry, Marion Barry.
And what did Gary D do as soon as he got there? He goes on the air to be Mr. Shock Jock, and he says, well, his wife could pass for white. He had the reason nobody remembers that he was in Washington, D.C. is he was gone. They fired his ass within weeks of him getting there. And Roxanne looks really nonplussed at this story completely. But yeah. So don't talk to me about Gary D. and
So he basically pulled a Joe Biden.
no,
On air.
you're not going to get me suckered into a political conversation. Joe Biden is Joe Biden. I leave him alone. I have nothing to do with him.
He's an old frail man.
Gary D was trying to be the Howard Stern
or Don Imus.
Don Imus kind. Well, he followed Imus. At one point in time, I thought. Didn't Imus have some time in Cleveland as well?
Oh, Imus, yeah, he was at HK. Yeah, he was at HK,
And I thought that's why when Gary D took over one of the spots that Imus was on or whatever, something like that. Speaking of radio, did you see that Kevin from Kevin and Bean that was on radio at K-Rock in Los Angeles? They basically fired their entire staff, including board ops and everybody else, via email.
Are you kidding?
Bean of Kevin and Bean, they were a drive time staple in Los Angeles for, I don't know, 18, 20 years, something like that. Bean retired this past fall, and Kevin and company or something took over the show. And I guess their ratings weren't there or something. They basically fired the whole crew via email. And then they let them come in the next day and escorted them out with, like, you know, armed guards or something like that. So the state of radio people is just, man, it's not good.
No, it's why I, was forced out of the business. It's not radio anymore. I don't know what in the hell it is, but
Well,
I can't say
everybody's
that this
owned
is
by-
really podcasting either, so I don't even know what in the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to subsist from day to day. And the one thing that we've come to a conclusion to here is, you gotta just kind of take things as they come. I mean, the financial market is as bad. I mean, I think we're conceivably heading for a depression, because the longer this virus thing goes on, the stock market's going to continue to plunge, because this is not something that the Fed can turn around and just infuse money into the situation. It doesn't work that way. Right now, we have a crisis of confidence, and I didn't see what the final Dow was, and I'm going to look that up now in my demonic voice. It was down another 582 points. We're at 18,591. I mean, we've given all of it back and then some. And with a sitting president heading into an election year where campaigning is going to be very difficult for Mr. Trump, because he's just going to be caught up in everything that's going on, in the country, as he should be. And it gives Biden a tremendous advantage, which is why we know Trump will be reelected, because Biden looks the gift horse in the mouth. He is a male Hillary, can't win. I guarantee you he will find a way to lose. Guarantee it. Oh, now we're going to talk about Kylie and Booms. Kylie's a good guy. Booms,
Getting back to the virus, you asked us about a month ago how serious we thought it was, and I remember telling you that, it's going to be very serious as far as the world economics is concerned, and unfortunately, that has proven to be correct.
yeah, and it's, you can complain all you want, but right now, I mean, I can tell you, I am a very conservative investor, very conservative, and no matter where you're parked today, folks, money-wise, you're losing your ass. Right across
Bitcoin,
the stocks,
pull your shit out of the
bonds.
system and stick it in something like cryptocurrency.
Yeah, there is
Right
there
out the
is
storm.
nowhere to hide right now, and the smart thing to do is, and I'm not going to tell people to seal their doors and not go outside for a walk around the block. I think that's by the way, the anthem of the super seniors down here in Florida. So let's walk around the block tonight. That's about as hip as
What do
they
you mean
get
I
here.
can't go to the deli?
Yeah, it's
What are you, my sugar?
yeah, yeah. The Jews miss Delhi almost as much as the Cavaliers fans.
Hopefully for different reasons. Sawing off his legs in the stands.
I think that we should
Hey, I
really,
can make a nice brisket.
and don't take me as a health expert by any stretch of the imagination. Fucking look at me, for God's sakes. Look at this rash I got on my. I can't do it here. I can't show that. I got this fucking rash. Oh, maybe now you. It's all right. A Senor Wences moment. Look it up. Go ahead. You can wiki it. You got plenty of time.
Or IMDb.
Yeah. But I think the smart thing to do, first of all, don't panic, all right? And what I would tell you, the important staples are Tostitos. You got to run out and get about 6 bags. No. Seriously, all this disinfectant stuff is all well and good. But if you don't let people into your house and you're not positive, you're not going to have an infected home, okay? Disinfectant is not nearly as important as food. That's important, all right? Health stuff that you need, and
Vitamins and minerals and supplements.
Yep. And one thing that I'm discovering, because I'm gluten sensitive and all that, is finding gluten-free products is very, very difficult. So we make our own bread here, and there's no yeast around the country. If you're in my boat, and you're making your own stuff, find the base ingredients and make sure you're stocked at least well ahead for that. Because, if you need certain types of foods for certain reasons, a lot of people can eat anything to get their fiber. I'm not like that. I'm gluten sensitive, and I got.
Don't be a
such
schmendrick. You got to make your own donuts.
I'm not a schmendrick. But the necessities, and drinking water. You can put a filter on your tap, and you can filter water. If you don't want to keep going back to the store and hoping that they have, every time you go back to the store hoping that they have something, and
we
you
have
come
a,
back with nothing, you
we
might be coming back with the virus. So be careful.
We actually have the Pure thing where it's like a water chest that you can put in your refrigerator, and you just change the filter, add water, tap water, and it filters it out, and then you have your own storable drinking water.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have water, you gotta have food. We're gonna go to each of our members here on the panel before we get out of here. Jake, one thing that you want to tell the audience that you think is smart to do from your experience during this crisis.
If you're going out, get everything you need in one trip, and don't go out during the day. Try to go out at night, right before your curfew, if you're in lockdown.
All right, and that's just to stay away from crowds in stores.
Yeah.
Down here in Florida, I can tell you that we were over at Walmart looking for some things that we needed, and there were very few people in the store compared to what you would normally expect for a store of that nature. Rick, what do you think?
Well, panic and worry is going to get you nowhere. Just, do things smartly, common sense, logic. More often than not, that'll carry the day.
All right, and Rox, this is your chance to shine.
If somebody says that they have allergies and that's what their symptoms are, don't believe them, especially if they're 20-something and it's spring break.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you is, I tend to be a little bit emotional sometimes, and this person on the screen right now, look how calm she is. She's like Chaka calm. Brian.
Check it out.
Well, having been out today because we had to get an oil change for the old Journey, be aware of the morons that are on the road with you. I mean, when you almost get sideswiped 3 times in 3 blocks, there's a problem. So if you have to be out, be mindful. Protect yourselves. Think about your home defense. Think about your personal defense. And other than that, store up what you can, and hopefully this will all blow over soon. And if you work retail, you're gonna get shit on. Sorry.
Brian, did you think it might have been you, since it was 3 different times at the same time, putting down your phone maybe? But anyway, I digress. Don't be an ass. Don't be an ass. Get what you need. Don't get more. Don't clean out the freaking toilet paper roll. Buy a bidet if you can. It'll take a month to get there, but that's the way it is. And be nice to your delivery people. You know, you can still maintain social distancing, but right now, I'll tell you from the post office's situation, we're going to be still working and doing things, business as usual to a certain extent, as far as delivering mail and getting medicine to people. So that part's going to be there. But there's some heroes out there, and those are the ones that are, bringing that stuff to you and everything else.
Yeah, and to add to what you said, I mean, there is no reason to be rude to people. I want to say one good thing about Walmart, and it's not my favorite store, never has been. However, they seem to be exercising a plan with paper goods, which are a big issue. I wanted to point one other thing out. You don't need paper towels if you have washcloths. People survived without paper towels for generations and generations, all right? But what Walmart's doing is one aisle moving quickly, a line, and you don't stand for very long. They're handing out, like a 6 or 12 pack of toilet paper and a 6 or 12 pack of paper towels, and then you move along. And they have people who are loading and unloading constantly. And if you want to know how to find out without going to the store, go to their website. This is not advertising, folks. This is smart. Go to walmart.com. Look to see if they have, the brands that they have are Angel Soft toilet paper, Scott One Ply, which I wouldn't buy One Ply, Sparkle, which is the brand of paper towels. Look up the inventories on those, and if it says that they have it in stock at your home store, because you can go in, you can find the one that's closest to you. If it says they're in stock, they are rationing it. You can go to the store and get one of each. It is a smart thing to do rather than running out of something. And if you're smart, you don't hoard, but you do something intelligently. You bring your spouse and you just go separately in line, so you get 2 rolls of the toilet paper, of the 6 packs or 12 packs, and the paper towels, and you get the hell out of Dodge. You don't try to fill your whole fucking cart up with them. But take advantage of organizations and companies that are doing the responsible things and behave responsibly yourself. I got to get out of here because I got to walk my shitting dog. Before, I want him to I got to retrain him to shit outside, for God's sakes, because he's learning the wrong way. I'm sorry about the audio quality on this, but I promised everybody that I was going to continue to do programs, and so I shall, because I think it's important that we stay in communication. And no, the world is not about sports right now, but maybe we can pass along some helpful information from our experiences to help you get through the next several weeks or months, because it's going to be a while, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you again Friday, right?
So it would appear.
Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, hasta la vista, pasture heads.
See, it's that rash right there.
Yeah, right there, a rash. No, I shouldn't be so rash. Hasta la vista, pasture heads. Good night.